Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Bandit Gang YouTube channel and to the next Game Spotlight, where we take a look at games that are not related to our main focus, which is The Witcher and Gwent. For today's video, we will be taking a look at a game called Draft of Darkness. This is a game I wanted to make sure I got a good grasp of in terms of mechanics and gameplay because there is a lot to cover here. You can also check out the article that we have created on the Bandit Gang website. The link will be in the description below. So, without further ado, let us commence with Draft of Darkness. When I first started playing Draft of Darkness, I was surprised by how much there was on the game itself. There have been many comparisons of this game as being a mixture of Slay the Spire and Resident Evil, and if you have played both games, then you know why that comparison was made. In essence, Draft of Darkness is a deck builder roguelike where you draft cards and assemble a deck to defeat enemies as you progress through the story laid out in multiple dungeons. But this is where the Slay the Spire comparisons end generally. The horror theme of the game is where the Resident Evil comparisons come in, from the enemies, the theme, and even through its soundtrack. It gives that chilling feeling that I cannot play this game in the dark at the dead of night without feeling just a little bit scared. Because of how much mechanics this game possesses, we will be scrolling through the different screens where I can describe the appropriate mechanics as they appear. So let us begin with the main screen. This will be the screen that shows up as you travel through the floors while looking for the exit and proceeding to the next level. On the top right, you see the map. You are able to see the layout of the map, and more will be revealed as you travel through the level. Along the way, you can unlock chests, fight enemies, events that give you special rewards or punishments, or even shop for more resources and cards if you need, similar to how it works in Slay the Spire. On the left side of the screen, you can see your character's stats. In here, you can see what buffs or debuffs they have been inflicted with, their HP, the amount of cards in their deck, as well as the option to adjust the decks. If we go further above, we see a variety of items. These can be used accordingly. A good thing about how items are utilized in this game is that some of them have abilities that are activated if you use them on the field, which is known as exploration, or in battle, which is known as an encounter. So be sure that you are in the right situation before using an item for its desired ability, as there is no clear indicator which are items and which ones are special items, which are items that give you passive abilities as long as you possess them or assign them to a certain character. Be sure to hover over these cards in order to read their abilities so you can make the most out of using them. Along the very top left, you will see the resources panel and how much you have of each. These are very important in battle and when shopping, so be sure to keep a close eye on these, especially during battle. As you travel through the map, you will notice that there are labels throughout, which are also reflected on the map itself. These can help you indicate what to expect when you interact with the corresponding events, such as an enemy or boss fight, or opening a drawer or cabinet for loot. Now that we have covered the main screen, let's go over the battle screen. When you enter battle, you will see a screen similar to this. In this screen, there are a few more things to go over. You will first draw 5 cards, which will be your starting hand, and you get 10 energy as indicated below your health bar, which will replenish on your next turn. Now if we take a closer look at the cards, you notice that the cost to play some of them is not just energy. Depending on the weapon your character uses, it may require additional resources. For example, let's look at Jake's hand. Since he uses a pistol in battle, some of his cards require bullets in order to use them. These will take up bullet resources, which do not replenish after they have been used, unlike energy. So be careful about using too many of these cards that require additional resources. Some characters also equip melee weapons, which don't use up additional resources, but some of the enemies you will encounter will have effects that will inflict debuffs on your character if they are hit with a melee attack. So plan accordingly when you take on certain enemies, and if you feel you don't have the required resources, prepare yourself and return for the battle. If you do not want to use your cards that consume additional resources, you have an option on the bottom left that lets you conserve, which means that at the cost of 1 energy, your stronger cards will become weaker that deal less damage, but will not consume additional energy. So you have the opportunity to save your resources for future use, such as for boss fights. Beside the conserve action, you also have the ability to swap your equipment set, so you can spread the resources you use in battle and don't just end up consuming all your bullets in one fight. On the top right of the screen, we see a timer. Since this game uses a turn-based system for combat, you can see the order of who will be going, so you know if you will go before your opponents or if they go before you. Depending on your speed stat, which can be manipulated when you level up or put on equipment that benefits speed, you can get 2 turns of combat before your opponent even gets their first turn, so this can be very useful. On the bottom right, you have the option to flee. If you find that your current encounter is too difficult for you, you can run. When you do this, a flee card will be put onto the character's deck, and the party will receive 80% more damage until they use the flee card. The battle will still continue until this card is played, so once you draw it, use it immediately. There is one more screen I would like to show you, and that is the equipment screen. Here, you can see the equipment that you have collected throughout your adventure, as well as the ones your character currently has equipped. These equipment can change your character's attributes shown on the bottom left, which can affect the course of battle, so choose your equipment carefully. You also have the option to edit your deck. Throughout the game, you will collect cards that you find, buy, and add as part of your deck. Be careful, however, since if you save your deck, you can no longer take back the cards you have added, so make sure you want to add them before you save. After you clear a level by finding its exit, you are able to restore character health and rearrange cards on your deck, but these take up rest points, so you have to decide when to use certain options. Before I finish off, I would like to point out that similar to Slay the Spire, do not expect to learn about or complete the game in one run. You need to play multiple runs to have access to extra cards and additional characters that you can use in your runs. So the more runs you do, the more you unlock, and be sure to explore everything the game has to offer. And that about covers the mechanics and the gameplay of the game. As you can see, there's a lot to cover in this game, which is why I really enjoy it. I would say the main thing I do not like is the UI, as it is difficult to read some of the text in the game and it is not entirely clear to what certain things do when exploring or battling, which could be problematic for someone who is looking to get into the game, but I assure you that will improve as you play this game more. I thoroughly enjoy playing this game and I have a lot of fun traveling the levels while uncovering the story of the game, which you will find out if you play it yourself. So what did you think of the game? Do you enjoy it? Please let us know in the comment section below and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this and videos that cover the Witcher universe, and I will see you all next time.
And we're doing another giveaway for a subscription to the Bandit Gang YouTube channel, and the winner is... Oh, exciting! Woo! The winner is... It's you! Woohoo! You just activated subscription down below. Congrats!